This year, you're facing a tough opponent, the Jaguars. What do you tell your players to get prepared for tonight?
It's going to be physical. We're going to line up in the trenches and get out there, play some good, solid football.
Amen, Coach. Appreciate it. Good luck tonight. Coach Roy Garza does a great job. Not only is he a great coach, he's a good friend of mine. We wish him luck. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Paul. And that was Coach Garza of the Edinburg North Cougars joining Paul on the sidelines. Paul will be joining us from the sidelines all night long. Once again, thank you, Paul, very much. And you got to give us a different aspect of the game by you being down there in the sidelines. And let me tell you what, I enjoyed it yesterday, gentlemen. Joe, Paul, thank you very much. So we're going to do tonight's game once again. Doris Salinas, Joe Bowling, and Paul Osbury. Special thanks going out for sure to ValleyCentral.com. We have people, and just everywhere we go, and Paul talks to me about it. Joe's been doing it for years and years. He started this Valley Central with a high school. Joe, you got me into it last year, and Joe, all I can say is thank you, and I'm just having a blast.
Well, I'm glad I got to team up with guys like you, and now with Paul and with Kevin, and with the guys in Harlingen and San Benito and Westaco, and on and on and on and on, to meet individuals that are just getting their feet wet in some cases with this broadcast stuff, and other guys have been doing it in the booth, and suddenly now with this streaming stuff. So yeah, it's a pleasure for me to be here as part of this broadcast, Cats TV, with the beautiful video and the operation here. A nice view from the press box. When it does rain, hey, we got a good spot.
Tailgate?
And the tailgate. Let's talk tailgate.
So you put all that together, Paul. What do you got?
All right, here, gentlemen, I can tell you right now, the wind is a factor. It's going to help the Cougar kicker right now, but if you're doing any punting or any kicking to the north direction, let me tell you, it's going to be a factor. The wind's blowing tonight, boys.
Once again, that's a report coming from Paul Osbury down on the field. Here we go. We're going to get going right now, just in a few seconds. Once again, it's going to be the Edinburg North Cougars against the Economedes Jaguars. The Cougars will be kicking from the 40 on the north side of the field to the south side. Once again, watch the wind taking effect if you're going the other way. Here we go. Joe, take it away, Joe.
Jaguars has received the opening kickoff, and it's a high kick over on the left-hand side. Going to be fielded by Ramirez out across the 15-yard line. Middle of the field to the 20. Spins away from the tackle to the 22. Now makes a turn around the corner, down the third lead to the sideline. 35, 40, out of bounds he goes. And that's where the Jaguars will take over. Well, no intimidation there, no big hit, a big return, though. Ramsey Ramirez for the Jaguars.
All the way down to the 37.5, call it the 37-yard line of the Jaguars. Paul, we talked about field position. What does it mean right now?
Well, again, the definition of field position is when you start, how far are you away from the other end zone? Pretty good field position and a great return. Wasn't necessarily blocking as much as it was just effort by that young man. So pretty good start for the Jaguars.
It'll be 1st and 10. We're just about 8 seconds into the beginning of the game. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Jaguars. They have it at their own 37-yard line.
Out of the straight I formation, they'll hand the ball off to the right side, and that goes for maybe a half a yard as that Edinburg North defense was there to greet the tailback. First carry of the night.
It'll be just to pick up a 1 yard, call it. They give him 1 yard, maybe half a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9 coming up. Again, we're just starting. Can you just join us? It's Edinburg North against the Jaguars of Economedes. Doris Salinas, Joe Bowling, and Paul Osbury will bring you audio live action tonight.
Tony Izagiri, you got that carry. You gained 1. 2nd and 9, and they'll run the ball end around. Running the left-hand side. A nice job by the defense. They'll cover that, and down it goes. It was blown up by the senior, Roy Cantu, who takes down the tailback.
A loss to 4 yards, Paul. They didn't let him get to the outside. How big is that?
Jonah, you called it, man. You're right about that, boys. Great job by the defender to attack him from the outside in, not allowing him to get outside and gain those yards. Tremendous defensive effort by that young man.
Lost 2 yards on the play, so call it 3rd and 11 coming up. 1 minute gone on this opening quarter of game week 2. And it's going to be a big one here. It should be a good one, Joe.
10:50 to go here in the first quarter. Jaguars set up with a 4-receiver set. Twins right and left on 3rd down and 11. They got to get to the 48 to get a first down. Pass play. Alvarez throws it deep downfield, overthrows everyone by a good 7 yards. And my first question, real quick, Paul Osbury, did he have to throw that hard because of the wind?
Yes, sir. The wind is a factor. It's affecting the kicks, the punts, and obviously you can tell in the throws. The wind is a factor on the field, and I think he had to let it go a little sooner than he wanted because any further than the guy was going to get a little bit out of range. So the wind is a factor, gentlemen.
3 and out for the Jaguars, and Donut, you look at that defense did the job right out of the gate.
I mean, if you're a Cougar, just what you want, the way you want to start the game just happened for them. They were going to go 3 and out. They're punting from their own. Call it you'll get rid of it for like the 21, 22-yard line. Here we go. It is 4th and 11.
What the Jaguars said they wanted to do was keep the ball in some sustained drives and keep Edinburg North's offense off the field, because that's what people are afraid of, is that their offense is going to get in sync. Bad snap. Punter going to get to the ball. Gets away from the rush, and now he's going to run. Now he's going to slip, ball down, and a big crucial mistake sets up Edinburg North inside the 20 in the red zone, 1st and 10.
They'll be at about the 17-yard line. We talked about it last night with the SaberCats having to go only sometimes 48, 43, 49 yards, 32 yards, and it made it easy for them to score. How about the Cougars here starting with only needing 18 yards to put some points on the board?
On a 3 and out, they give the football up in the red zone, and here comes the Edinburg North Cougars. Both teams 2-0 out of the gate. We're in a battle of the cats here in Edinburg Stadium on a Friday night on ValleyCentral.com. Alex Guerrero will be the quarterback. Lines up in a shotgun formation. 2 receivers left-hand side, single receiver to the right side, offset I formation. Between him, handoffs to the deep end, and running play to the left-hand side. It's going to be Alvarez. Turns the corner. Got it inside the 10. Penalty flag on the play. We'll see what that's about.
It's going to be 2 flags. One came in early, one came in late. It's probably going to be a holding, and maybe it's going to be both flags. It looks like against the Cougars. We'll wait and see. Once again, we're just getting going here in Edinburg. North Salinas Show Bowling. Paul Osbury will bring you tonight's action on the first district game for both the Cougars and the Jaguars. They're both 2-0. And talking to Coach Garza, he feels this game's going to be a big decision on who's going to be 3 or 4 in the playoff. I was saying, Coach, first game, and he goes, no, that's the way it looks like.
Wow, I can't believe these coaches are already talking about that right out of the gate to start this district play. That penalty was against Edinburg North, and so that takes them back outside the red zone. It'll be a holding call, and it'll be a 10-yard penalty as it occurred. They're actually behind the line of scrimmage, so little 10-yard penalty, and now it's still 1st down for Edinburg North. 10:24 to go in the first quarter, scoreless game, but North with a golden chance here to score out of the gate here in the first quarter. Shotgun formation again. Guerrero takes, swings a pass, right-hand side. It's caught by Matt Ramirez. Down the sideline, inside the 20, bounces off a tackle to 15, and down to the 11-yard line. A good, quick 19 yards on the gain to Ramirez.
Picked up about 17 there, Joe. It was 1st and 20. It'll be a 2nd and 3. What Kevin likes to call is a very manageable 2nd down coming up. It'll be 2nd and 4, call it. And already quickly, I told you, watch out with number 10, Matt Ramirez.
Ramirez, he caught that ball in the flats, waited for 1 block, and then used some athleticism and speed to take care of the rest. He lines up as a receiver out on the left-hand side, a 3-receiver set this time for the Cougars of Edinburg North. It's 2nd and a little under 5 yards to go. Ball back inside the 15-yard line, spotted at the 13. Shotgun formation once again for Guerrero. Turns, missed a connection on the handoff, kept it himself and lost 2.
Turned to the left, there was nobody there, had nothing to do but just keep it and try to get something. Nothing came up, and lost of 1.5 yards. So again, it's going to be a 3rd. And we'll call it about 6 yards coming up, Joe.
Yeah, 3rd down play now coming up for Edinburg North. And if you're Edinburg Economedes and you can hold them to a field goal here, advantage to your defense, because they were set out here with a huge chore, and that was keeping Edinburg North out of the end zone. But this North offense can get it going. Spread formation once again. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right, single back in the backfield. Guerrero once again in a shotgun, waits for the snap. 8 on the play clock, takes it, turns, looks, fires right side, and a diving attempt, almost reeled in, incompleted pass, would have been sort of a 1st down.
That was Chavez on the attempt there. It fell incomplete, so we're down to 8:48, still left in the first quarter in a scoreless game. It is Edinburg North Cougars 0, Jaguars 0. Both teams have touched the ball 1 time, Joe, and we've had maybe just a pickup of 1 first down, and that was by the Jags on a 1 play, but it came back, so it's going to be, it was, what's his name, number 10, Matt picking up 1 play there, so it's going to be 1 first down to no first downs. It is still 0-0, 4th down, they're going for it, Joe.
Cougars going to go for it on 4th down, big play right out of this ball game's first quarter. On 4th and, I call it 6.5, pass play. Alvarez, a ton of time over the middle, inside the 5, caught, and that'll be a 1st down for the Cougars. They convert on 4th and 6.
And Joe, we saw it all last year, we saw it all year long, and we saw it the year before. How many times does Coach Pena go for it on 4th down? Turn the page, it's decided now. Roy Garza goes for it on 4th down, 4th and 6. Big catch there. I think it was number 10, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was Ramirez once again.
Once again, it's going to be 1st and goal from the 3-yard line for the Cougars.
And they use that pass play to perfection now on a 1st and goal. Inside the 5, spotted at the 3. Alvarez takes a snap, turns, hands it off, running left-hand side, and nothing doing as Matt Whiteside's first carry goes for perhaps negative yards.
Yeah, maybe lost a half a yard there. It'll be 2nd and goal. Put it back to the 4-yard line. Maybe a loss of 1 yard. We've got 8:15 left in the first quarter still. Scoreless game. It's Cougars 0, Jaguars 0. Here we go. It is second and goal from the 4-yard line.
Fans, if you're just joining us, thanks again here on ValleyCentral.com, live streaming audio from Edinburg, where the Edinburg North Cougars are taking on the Edinburg Economedes Jaguars. We're scoreless, 7:55 to go. Jaguars took the opening kickoff, 3 and out on the punt. They mishandled the snap, handed the ball over. North trying to capitalize. Second and goal inside the 5. Alvarez sets him up in the shotgun once again. Waits takes his snap, hands it off, running play in the middle. Touchdown as Alvarez takes it in.
Touchdown, Cougars. Paul, you're sitting right behind it. What happened there, Paul?
What a tremendous hole. Great job of blocking by the left tackle, the left guard, blocking down on the defensive lineman. I don't know if it was a stunt or incorrect, but let me tell you, bottom line was they opened up a gaping hole. I can see it from here. He went in untouched, boys.
All right, here comes the point after. We're down to 7:40 left in the first quarter. Quickly, the North Cougars go the 18 yards they needed to put 6 points on the board. Here comes the point after. Snap. Bad snap. Ramirez keeps it. He's going to the left side. He's got nowhere to go. How big is that going to play till maybe later on in the game?
Extra point, no good for the Cougars. Adrian Alvarez takes it in, scores 6-0. Your score, 7:40 to go in the first quarter. Kickoff coming up.
We got 2 first downs picked up by the Cougars on that drive. And Paul, how big do you think that extra point might come back and hurt them?
It could. We don't know, gentlemen, at this point in time, but I'll tell you what, you need every point you can get on a battle like tonight. Game of the week, you got the Jaguars, Cougars. Let me tell you, you need every point. Even half a point would help at this point. So that's got to hurt a little bit at this point.
All right, once again, the extra point was no good. So it's going to be the Edinburg North Cougars 6, Economedes Jags 0.
Cougars with the lead. They took advantage and capitalized on the short field and lead this game 6-0. Now, if you're Edinburg Economedes, I ask you first, Donut, what do you do on this? You just been hit pretty hard by this Edinburg North team.
Well, and again, I think it's going to depend on where they get the ball to start their field position, and that's one thing that's been big the first 3 weeks here in Edinburg. And if you can just get a little breathing room, you're going to be able to open up your play calling, and I think that's what Economedes is going to need here. It's a good field position to see what they can do on the play calling.
Paul Osbury on the sideline, weigh this one out. Do you look more at the fact that, hey, we just went 3 and out and it didn't look very good offensively, or do you look more glaringly at that mishandled punt?
I can tell you right now, mishandled extra point. It was a bad snap. The ball was a little bit low, and I'm not sure if the moisture on the field is affecting the ball, but it was just slightly off on the snap, and it was tough for the holder to handle.
Short kickoff by the Cougars. Fair catch called for and made by the Jaguars. They'll get good field position to start this drive. Call it their own 35. 7:40 to go. First quarter down 6-0.
Once again, Donut Salinas, Joe Bowling, Paul Osbury. Special thanks going out to ValleyCentral.com. Thank you very much from Edinburg, from the school board, from the parents, from the city, from everybody. Joe Bowling. It's been great in Edinburg, and they love what we're doing.
Here we go as the Jaguars come back out here to the line of scrimmage. They'll be 1st and 10 now. In their first 3 plays, they got -1 yards on the drive and then mishandled the punt. So they trail 6-0. Got to get something started here on this second time on the offense on the field. They'll line up, single back in the backfield, double wing formation. Under center, Alvarez takes a snap, hands it off. Running right hand side is Izagiri, looking for a block, got nothing, may have gained 2.
Make up of maybe 2 yards. We'll call it a 2nd and 8 coming up. Already we're down to under 7:30 left in the first quarter. Joe, do you think this will be a quick game? We've seen some long games, some short games. What do you think here, the way it's going so far?
You talk to either coach, and they say they would like to have some sustained drives, and sustained drives generally eat up the clock in a hurry. So yeah, if Economedes can take some time off the clock, they'll do it. And Edinburg North, same thing. Here's a Gary, man in motion, handoff, go up the middle. A lot of room. Across the 45, rolling to the 49-yard line for the Jaguars. That'll be enough for a first down, and they'll move the chains.
A pickup of maybe 13 yards on that play. It'll take it all the way to almost the 50-yard line, almost midfield here, ladies and gentlemen. So it's going to be a first down picked up by Economedes. That's the first one of the night. It's a big one. It's a little momentum get going on their side. It's been all Cougars, the first 3 and out for them, and then the Cougars came and put 6 points on the board. Here we go. 1st and 10 there at midfield.
First down play for the Jaguars. Running play again. Leapfrogging man. Staying on his feet. Getting across the 45. Nice run that time. And that will nearly move the chains once again for the Jaguars.
It's a pickup of 7. And Spotting putting in about a 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3 coming up for the Jaguars. Jaguars looking at answering here, Joe.
Ramsey Ramirez on that carry for the Jaguars. His first touch of the night. And this Jaguar team moving the football here against a very stingy defense. 8 yards on that gain. 2nd down and 2. Quick snap, handoff, running right side, and that will go for nothing.
Nothing there. Defense came up big. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Gentlemen, we've known Coach Pena for 2 years. This is his 3rd year, and I've yet to see him punt the ball when there's a chance of picking up a first down.
Donut, got to make a phone call.
Okay, here we go. Paul, me and you're going to take it. Paul, we got 3rd down. Is this 2-down territory for Coach Pena?
You know Coach Pena, you know the deal, and it's pretty good field position. I bet he goes for it, but we're going to find out. A lot of trickery going on in the backfield of Jaguars. Very clever design by the back. Look at that. They're probably going to get the first down. Very clever design.
And it is a pickup of a first down, so it's going to be, Paul, one more time for the Jags. What we're going to do is move those chains. Here we go. First call of the night for me and Paul. Move those chains. Joe Boyd says he's going to get you a shirt that says move those chains. Here we go. First down. We're down to 5:39. Jags pick up their 2nd first down of the night on their 2nd possession. Also of the night, the Cougars have touched the ball one time. They went 18 yards, or 28 really, after they got brought back for 10 yards. So they took on and put 6 points on the board. 2nd time the Jags touched the ball, they got 2 first downs. 1st and 10 from the 39. It'll be a handoff right up the middle, going nowhere once again. Cougar defense stepping it up big. It's going to be a loss of a 1 yard, so it'll be 2nd and 11 coming up. We're down to, Paul, I think this game's going to go pretty quick. We're under 5:10 and going.
Well, you're right about that, Donut, and the wind is definitely a factor. It's gonna affect the passes, so expect these guys to be grinding it out on the field to do the run game. But I'll tell you what, the Jaguars doing something very clever, very deceptive. The average fan would say, hey, I don't know who's got the ball. That's by design, and it's giving the Cougars some fits.
On a first down play, they'll hand it off, running left-hand side, a little room there. They'll spin him off his feet, though. It would have been a bigger gain. Ramirez, though, got checked up quick.
Great play by number 4. That was Cantu on an open field. If he gets away from Cantu, he went to the outside ball. He would have had a lot of room.
Oh, he would have had some daylight, but good shoestring tackle by whoever that was. Great job.
That was Cantu, number 4. So
Cantu, great tackle, young man.
3rd and 8 coming up. Big down play, and I see the Jags going for it. They got 2 downs in Mr. Pena's eyes to me to pick up a first down. Here we go. 3rd and 8 coming up. They're at the 37-yard line.
From the 37, they operate out of a split back formation. Quick snap, pitch out, right-hand side. They'll turn the corner across the 40, inside the 35, and then a huge hit delivered at short of first down territory. Tony Izagiri on that carry, and it will be 4th down coming up for the Jaguars.
I am calling it 4th, 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 or 4 yards. And Coach Pena, I don't think he'll hesitate to go for it. We'll wait and see here. Cougars might get ready for this big play. Here it is. I think it's going to be the first big play. Well, Cougars had a big play and made it on a 4th and 6. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see what's going to happen. It's going to be 4th and 3 coming up from the 32-yard line.
They'll go for it as they stack it up once again. Double tight end set. 2 backs in the backfield behind Luis Alvarez. 4th down, man in motion left to right. And that pass play over the middle, a sliding attempt, and it's going to be caught. First down, Jaguars.
First down, a pick up a quick pass right there. We talked about it, Paul. You stack it up like that, the only way you're going to beat that defense is get rid of the ball quickly.
You know, you're right, gentlemen. A great play-action pass. They've been run. So they got those linebackers kind of on their toes coming forward. All it takes is a little dump pass over their heads, and that's what you saw.
Call it another first down, so one more time, Paul. We're going to move those chains.
Guys, if you haven't listened to one of their broadcasts, get ready. That chime is going to happen a lot tonight. Running play. Now they'll end the play action. Look to throw the ball deep in the corner of the end zone. That's up for grabs, and it's going to be picked off by the Cougars in the end zone. What a tremendous snatch there. Interception.
Defense coming up big one more time for the Cougars. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cougars from their own 20-yard line. So, ladies and gentlemen, we should have a good one tonight here. Jaguars picked up 3 first downs on the way to put some points on the board. They get intercepted in the end zone. And Joe and Paul, I'll go to Joe first. You're running the ball so good. Why would you go up there?
Well, you just think you got him softened up, but Joey Benitez wasn't softened up. He reeled that in, intercepted in the end zone, and the Cougar defense makes the big play.
Paul, would you do that throwing the ball as a coach, Paul?
Well, I'll tell you what, he threw into the teeth of the wind, and the receiver was double covered, but he threw into the teeth of the wind, and the wind held it up, and you saw the result, gentlemen.
Here we go, 3:13 left in the first quarter. Cougars touching the ball for the 2nd time.
Cougars out of a shotgun formation. They will run it up the left side, out across the 23, 24-yard line, close to the 24. See a short gain on the play of about 4. 2nd and 6 coming up.
Paul, we talk about this. Not a bad play. If you can get 4 yards on every play, you're sitting good.
Gentlemen, you get 4 yards every play, you're getting a first down by your 3rd down conversion. So It's a good little run. They'll take 4 yards all day long, gentlemen.
I've had coaches in my career tell me if you guarantee me I'll get 3, I'll run the ball 4 downs every play till I'm in the end zone, and that works, friends. That's 12 yards per 4. On 2nd down and 6. It's the Cougars with the football and a 6-0 lead. 2:38 to go here in the first quarter. Running play left-hand side, running through a couple of tackles as Alvarez runs through another, and down the left-hand side, and on the run is Adrian Alvarez, and he's out of bounds, but not before he attains near the 40-yard line against this Jaguar team.
What if you get 20 yards on a run? Is that good, Joe?
I'd hand it to him about 100 times. I don't need to. About 30 will do.
Pablo, one more time for the Cougars. Move those chains. There you go. First down, number 3 for the Cougars. Second time they touched the ball, they picked up 2 first downs on their first possession. One big one coming on a 4th and 6. Kept the drive going, and that put 6 points on the board. Second time they touched the ball, they're driving. They're at their own 41-yard line.
2:27 and counting here in this first quarter after the snap. Ball went out of bounds, and so they stopped the clock. Out of the shotgun once again. They overload the right side with a 3-receiver set. Quarterback hands the ball off. Penalty flags on the play. Running through a couple of tackles as Matt Whiteside stays on his feet. Gains first down yardage and more. Hurled to the ground as he gets to the 44. Probably coming back as a result of those
Pick
penalties.
up of 17 yards. We'll wait to see what the call is. Apparently, the Cougars feel it's against them and asking them to get ready for the next play. We'll wait and see. Here it comes. We got flags on both sides of the field, so we'll wait.
Offsides against the defense. That's declined. And so it will stand as a 17-yard gain for Matt Whiteside. And suddenly, this Edinburg North offense is putting something together here, this drive that started after the interception in their own end zone. Now in Jaguar territory, 1st and 10 from the 43 of the Jags.
Paul, one more time. Let's move those chains,
Cougars.
2:18 to go here in the first quarter. Cougars out of the shotgun formation. Waiting for the snap. Good snap. Swing pass right-hand side. It's going to be incomplete. Dropped. Guerrero had his man. Put it right on the money on the fingertips. Receiver tried to go upfield a little too early.
Yeah, Mr. Cantu trying to make that quick grab. Kind of looked up the field before he had the ball. It fell incomplete. So it'll stop the clock with 2:06. Once again, Paul Osbury, Joe Bowling, myself, Donald Salinas, coming to you from Edinburg, Texas, live. Thanks to ValleyCenter.com. We're going live audio. It is 2:06 left in the first quarter. It is the Edinburg North Cougars 6, Economedes Jaguars 0. Joe.
Got a timeout on the field as a result of an injury out there, so they will attend to the player. Meanwhile, I want to remind you fans, this is live audio. You'll get to watch it about an hour after the conclusion of the game on the archive on ValleyCenter.com. Also looking ahead, tomorrow morning from Brownsville, 11 o'clock a.m. the kickoff as the Harlingen Cardinals take on Rivera's Raiders. That'll be on ValleyCenter.com, and then in between that game and another game that takes place at 7 o'clock at Sam Stadium tomorrow night. Switching over to Action 4, a little football game in college that might have a little implications on the standings and the rankings, and that is number 1 taking on Texas A&M, Alabama, and the Aggies.
Joe, you still going with the Aggies?
I'm still going with the Aggies. At home, but like I told, I was talking to a couple of football coaches this week, and I told both of them, I said, if you tell me Alabama's offense is going to get on track and those big linemen are going to start delivering the blocks like they're capable of, well, then I'd like to change my bet, okay?
All right. We'll go with that, Joe. Here we go. We're down to 2:06. Great, that's pretty good from the fans from the Edinburg North Cougars, clapping for number 53 of the Jaguars. Up on his own, walking off, getting a little assistance there, a little limp. Hopefully everything's going to be fine for him. Early in the season, we would not, as it is for anybody to get hurt, but especially under first district game. It's going to be a 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. We're down to 2:06 left in the first quarter. Still, it is Edinburg North Cougars 6, Jaguars 0.
Sophomore defensive lineman Alex Alvarez was the injured player, did get off the field under his own power, assisted at first. They'll attend to him, and we'll see who comes in and takes his spot. Meanwhile, 2nd and 10 for the Cougars. Football at the 43 of the Jaguars. Play action and a pump fake. Now a pass to the right-hand side. That's incomplete. He wanted Ramirez. Ramirez was far downfield from where that pass was delivered by Alex Guerrero.
We talked about these kids. They need to keep their calm. It's a big game. We have the first. I think it's going to be a personal foul, and it might go against the Cougars. Here comes the call, and I think he's throwing him out of the game, ladies and gentlemen. We'll wait and see. Here we go. Can you get the call here, Paul?
Yes, sir, I did see it. He gave him a little extracurricular. I'm not going to say exactly what it was, but I'll tell you what, the play was over, and he was, Mr. Rivera was giving him a piece of his mind, and the referee caught it, and you cannot do that. We want to maintain sportsmanship, and he in fact was giving him a little extracurricular, even though the play was over, and the ref caught him.
Coach Garza, I believe, is trying to, convince the the ref to keep him in the game. We'll see what's going to happen here, because let me tell you what, last night they didn't take much from the players, and 2 did get ejected. And it looks like if he is, we'll wait and see what's going to happen. He's making the call to the other side of the field.
Donut, you've been an official long enough to know that when you make that call that you've booted someone out of a game, how often do you allow a coach to talk you into letting that kid stay in?
I tell you what, I wouldn't allow it.
Never.
I would never allow
And it won't happen tonight.
And the thing is going to happen. Here comes Coach Pena. Did you throw him out or not? If you did, why is he back on the field? And you can understand Coach Pena's, point of view from his side is like, so. And then if you throw one of my kid out, am I going to talk you into bringing him back in? I mean, again, he set the tone quickly. He said, I'm not going to have none of this. You know what, 75, you're gone. Now you're going to bring him back in the game, and that's not going to be good for the rest of the game, at least from where I stand.
And they haven't marked the penalty yardage off yet, but this will move the Cougars back. They were inside the 50-yard line of the Jaguars, sitting at about the 43-yard line, and now they'll be back in their own side of the 50-yard line. So, yeah, if you're the coach on the other side, you just watch one of your defensive linemen come out of the game injured, and then bang, next play, a lineman on the other side does enough to get kicked out of a football game. So, yeah, you go out there and tell the officials, hey, I don't want any more guys coming off the field and anything extracurricular. My guys, their guys, stay with it.
It's going to take them back 15 yards, make it 2nd and 25 after the first down incomplete. So we're still at 1:51 left in the first quarter, and now the Cougars all of a sudden are back on their own side of the field. A little shout out that we're talking about A&M, a little shout out going out to the Leon family, JD. A little shout out to your family. He's at College Station. He's getting ready for tomorrow's game.
Well, everyone up in that area is getting ready for that football game. It's going to be a big one. Again, the SEC on Action 4. It'll be live. A right-hand side, 3 receivers set for the Cougars of Edinburg North on 2nd down. They've got to get it to the 33 of the Jaguars to get a first down. Rolling out is going to be Guerrero. Gets the pass away, overthrows his man, incompleted pass.
Incomplete and falls, so it's going to be 1:36 left. And gentlemen, they were sitting so good at the 43-yard line on a 1st and 10 to get an incomplete, and the coaches are still upset. We have another flag on the field, I believe, and it's going to be going the other way, so we might have this play go again, but 15 yards the other way. We're going to see Coach Pena. I mean,
that's going to be a hold against the Cougars. It's going to be 10 more yards against the Cougars down there, and they will be marching ever so gently backwards, if you will, by these penalty flags. Personal foul, now a hold. And they got to take it all the way to the 33-yard line of the Jaguars just to get a first down. Officials still talking things over with the players.
I think we had 2 flags on the field. Here we go. We're going to wait. Here comes the call.
Then a second penalty. Just repeat 2nd down. So 2nd down.
Repeat 2nd down, but bring them back another 10. It'll be 2nd and 35 coming up for the Cougars. All of a sudden, they're back at their own 32-yard line.
They'll set up shop in a shotgun formation, and what do you do here on 2nd and 35? That's anything but manageable. We'll see what they pull off here out of the playbook, out of a shotgun. Waiting for the snap is Guerrero. Takes it, hands it off, running play left-hand side. That's got a little room. Upended at the 40-yard line. That's a good gain of 7 yards. If it were 1st and 10 or 2nd and 10, that'd be okay.
Third, call it, take away 7 yards. We're going to have a third, and about still 26 yards to go.
7-yard gain for Matt Whitesides, who now has 4 carries for 27 yards in the ball game. 3rd down play coming up for Edinburg North. Minute 8 left here in the first quarter. Cougars with the football, leading in the ball game 6-0 out of a shotgun formation. Guerrero takes a snap, drops back, another penalty flag coming up this way against the Jaguars. Running play to the right-hand side as Alvarez tries to turn the corner, stays in bounds, upended at the 49-yard line, and that should be good enough for now a 4th down play, and you can send the punt team in and try to snap the Jaguars back deep.
We got a flag. I believe it's going to be offsides against the Jags. It's going to do 5 yards, so call it a 3rd and 23.
Well, if they take the penalty, well, and they may just do that, or they may use this as a chance to get the punting team in to pin this Jaguar team deep in their own territory and play a little field position. We'll see which way the Cougars.
They're going to move the ball 5 yards and bring up a 3rd and 22 coming up for the Cougars. We still got 49 seconds left in the first quarter. Still, it's the Edinburg North Cougars 6, the Economedes Jaguars 0. Here we go, 3rd and 27, 3rd and 22, call it, and it's going to be ball set at the 45-yard line. That is of the Cougar side.
Cougars setting up shop on this play. 3rd down, they scored early, missed an extra point, lead it 6-0. Shotgun formation for Guerrero. Sees a blitz coming. Here they come. Drops back. They pick up the blitz. He just fires the ball out of bounds. Nearly threw it in the stands. Incompleted pass. Punting time for the Cougars.
Ball didn't get at least to the line of scrimmage. That's what Coach Pena arguing there. Nobody saw where the ball went. Paul, we didn't get to the line of scrimmage. Did we get a flag here?
Hey, well, technically you should have, and that's why the Jaguar coaches are losing their minds. I could hear him yelling from here. The ball did not get to the line of scrimmage. It didn't, but apparently the refs didn't pick up on that, guys.
I don't think anybody saw him get rid of the ball, so what could they call? If you don't see it, once again, you cannot make a call. So it'll be 4th and 22 coming up for the Cougars. They're setting up to punt for about their own 35-yard line.
Jaguars set up shop to return this kick. 2 men return back inside the 20-yard line. Snapback's a good one. Punter gets it away. Spiraling kick, going to be fielded at the 18-yard line. Across the 20, to the 25 to the 30, down to the 35, still on his feet to the 40, and nailed at the 42-yard line. Big return, bigger hit to finish that off.
By number 7, can you give me a name there, Joe?
Joey Escobar, the senior, finished that one off, my friends.
That was a hit. Welcome to Friday Night Football here in Edinburg by Esquivel. Nevertheless, it's going to be good field position. They're sitting at their own 42-yard line. Economedes had something going the last time. They threw it in, so they got picked off. This is going to be the 3rd time they touched the ball.
Jaguars 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Their offense hasn't done much here this evening. 22 yards of offense. That's what I got them at. It's unofficial, my friends, on the number. Under center. 1st down play. Luis Alvarez takes a snap, hands the ball off, and that will go nowhere. Loss of a yard on the play as the Cougar defense was there.
Call it 2 yards. They're marking it at the 40-yard line. They were at the 42-yard line, and that might take us to the end of the first quarter. We'll wait and see what Economedes decides to do. Maybe they'll just wait and throw with the wind behind their back.
That was Alfonso Barrera on the carry. And yes, once indeed, we will be stopping the clock with 12 seconds for a moment. Now they'll let it run. And we will indeed head into the second quarter with the Jaguars trailing the Cougars 6-0. High school football coming to you live on a Friday night from Edinburg on ValleyCentral.com.
So after 1 quarter of play, gentlemen, it's going to be the North Cougars with, again, unofficial 4 first downs, 6 points on the board, 1 missed extra point. We have a timeout, and it was called by the Cougars. I guess they're going to make them maybe not throw with the wind or try and make a big play coming here with 3rd down. That's the only reason I could see a timeout coming there.
Yeah, not a bad timeout. Go ahead, Paul.
No, you're right. You're right about that, gentlemen, and that's my opinion as well. The coaches want to utilize the wind because the wind is at an advantage if you're going from the north to the south, and that's my suspicion. I bet they're going to pass it, boy. Good call.
Here we go. It's going to be 2nd and 12 coming up for the Jags. Cougars call a timeout, so it's going to be 1 second left in the clock, and I don't think they want to give them too many downs with that wind behind their back. That's one thing I can figure out there.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. Is saying, hey, they're in a definite passing down, 2nd and long. They put it in the air, use the wind to your advantage because it is a strong wind that's blowing directly in the face of the quarterback, in this case, Luis Alvarez of the Edinburg Economedes Jaguars. 1 second on the clock. That timeout, by the way, is the first timeout for either team in the first half. Cougars with 2 remaining. They lead 6-0 in this rather quickly played first quarter of play between these two teams here on a Friday night in Edinburg. Jaguars get the play from the sidelines, and they'll line up. Double tight end set, double wing set. Offset eye behind the quarterback, a lot of movement, and that'll tax them 5 yards.
Give them another 5 going back the other way, so it's going to be 2nd and 17. Guys, first 2 drives, first 2 for both teams, it was like flag free, and then all of a sudden it's just gone crazy with these flags. How big is this game? Look at the stands on both sides of the field. Ladies and gentlemen, it is packed. I haven't seen this field this packed in a couple of years. Let me tell you, both programs are going strong.
Both teams coming here 2-0, get a chance to start the season off 3-0 as they are romping here in the stands as well, and they're still filing in. I still see cars coming into the parking lot over there, so there's a little room on the Jaguar side, but not much room left on the Cougar side. Pass play over the right side. It's going to be caught at the 40, up to the middle of the field, the 45, still on his feet to the midfield stripe, spinning, backpedaling, first down Jaguars. What a terrific play, a 16-yard gain. They needed 15.
Exactly, Joe. That's right. So it's going to end the first quarter. Once again, we're going to be tied at first downs. Both teams, well, we got 4 first downs for the Jags. We got 6. 4 for the Cougars. After 1 quarter of play, it's still the Cougars up on the Jaguars by the score of 6-0. Once again, Donald Salinas, Paul Osbury, and Joe Boney coming to you from Edinburg. We're live with audio. Thanks to ValleyCenter.com. You'll get the picture 1 hour after the game, of course, with thanks to Cats TV. That's KATS, channel 17. For right now, it's going to be the Cougars 6, and it's going to be the Jaguars 0. Jaguars getting something going here for the third time they touched the ball, gentlemen, and the last 2 times they've been moving those chains. So once again, Paul, before we start the second quarter for the Jaguars, move those chains. It'll be 1st and 10, and already on the Cougar side of the field, that is at the 48-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. We're opening up the second quarter.
Jaguars out of a shotgun formation this time will spread the field on first down. Dropping back to pass. Alvarez rolls right, fires right, caught out across the 42-yard line, and fighting for a couple extra yards is going to be Ariola. That's going to be his 3rd catch of the night, and he shows just how tough he is out there in the open flats.
Pickup of 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2 coming up. Jaguars putting something together here. Defense got to get stepping up here, Paul.
I'll tell you what, the Jaguars are utilizing the quick passing game because you don't want to air it up. The wind is affecting the ball. Very effective passing, quick passing. There's very little opportunity for things to go wrong. Great catch, good game.
Here we go, 2nd and 2 coming up. We're down to 11:25 and counting, left in the half.
Doroteo Ariola with a catch. 3 catches now for 30 yards on the night. Man in motion for the Jaguars. Running play left-hand side, and that will go nowhere. 3 guys there to greet the tailback, and he is thrown violently back.
Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe they lost maybe 2 feet there on that call where they're spotting the ball. So bring it back a little bit. It'll still be 3rd and 2 coming up. And they got 2 downs to pick up these 2 yards if you're Coach Pena.
10:59 to go here in the first half now as we are in the second quarter of play. Jaguars trailing 6-0, but they are in Cougar territory. Not the first time they've been there either. Earlier they were intercepted on a pass play in the end zone on 3rd down. Running play left-hand side, and that is in the backfield, blown up. Ramirez dropped for a loss.
Yeah, brought down by his own lineman there, number 73. For some reason, backed up a little too much. Picked him up in the backfield. So we had a 2nd and 2 coming up. Became 3rd and 3. Now becomes 4th and call it 5.
Yeah, they're bringing in the punting team. Now, Paul, down there in the trenches, was that play blown up because the defensive surge pushed those guys back into the tailback?
You called that correctly, guys. It was tremendous. They were bringing the house on that one, and the defensive line of the Cougars just got a tremendous surge, and they, in fact, did push them back.
Punt play by the Jaguars rolls into the end zone, and so with 10:03 to go in the second quarter play, Edinburg North maintains that 6-0 lead, and they'll have the ball to start the drive at their own 20.
Gentlemen, Jaguars have touched the ball 4 times, Cougars 3 times. This the kind of game we were expecting?
Again, both defenses out there playing. You knew Edinburg North's defense was going to bring it, and the question was, could the Jaguars bring a similar effort? And thus far, yes.
So they sure have answered the call there. That's both defenses having a good night. Again, you got to remember, the Cougars on that score moved the ball only 18 yards to put those 6 points up on the board.
A gift by the special team. Shotgun formation for the Cougars, who on the night have 73 yards of offense total. 46 of that on the ground, 27 of that in the air. Shotgun formation for Alex Guerrero. Waits for the snap, takes it, runs the option, hands it off. They'll run it to the left-hand side to the 20 and no further from there. Thrown backwards was Whitesides. He turned the corner, looked upfield, but nothing but orange and white in front of him.
Forward progress, maybe pick him up a yard and a half at the most. Call it 2nd and 9 coming up. Paul, is the play calling going to have to be changed there by the Cougars?
I can see some tremendous trickery on both sides of the ball. What the Cougars tried to do, obviously, was get outside. The Jaguars stacked the box in their defensive linemen, but the defense, by design, had some outside pursuit by the linebackers. That's what stopped that play.
There we go. 2nd and 9 coming up. 9:28 and counting left in the half.
For the Cougars, they've got the football again with that 6-0 lead. Shotgun formation, dropping back to throw, heaving a ball deep downfield, and nobody there but an official. The Jaguars run after it, but that was miscommunication. Guerrero heaved that thing downfield. Ramirez would have had to turn on some jets and some to get close to that football.
Yeah, he's fast, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, but he's not that fast. Thought I completed about the 50 at midfield, so it stops the clock with 9:17. Once again, Donuts and Leaders, Joe Bowling, Paul Osbury coming to you live from Edinburg. If you're still joining us, first drive, Cougars went and took the lead on about 5 plays from the 18-yard line, got into the end zone, missed extra points, so it's still 6-0 Cougars over Jags.
Down in Brownsville, Kevin Naro just sent me a message. They are in a lightning delay. Here's a pass to Whitesides by the Cougars, and that will go for nothing. They'll end up blowing that one down at the 20-yard line. Little screen pass, and the Jaguars were all over it.
Momentum seems to be shifting to the side. Paul, what do you see?
Great job by the defense. I can see how they're out scheming them as far as the defensive linemen, how they're lining up. The Cougars believe they can get outside because of how the Jaguars lining up, but it's just being deceptive because the Jaguars are prepared to take care of the edge. And right there, you can see the player could not get outside on him.
8:45 remaining here in the second quarter, and on the exchange of field possession, Jaguars should get good starting point for this drive. They pin the ball back down to the 20, and that's where they'll be punting from, as the punter for the Edinburg North Cougars stands inside his 10 waiting for the snap. A good snap, gets the kick away, wobbly kick away from the return man, takes a bounce at the midfield stripe, across into Edinburg North territory, down the sideline, penalty flag on the play, and so it would have been great field position, still will be good, and then a late hit comes in after that, so they may very well still get that good field position.
Well, the flag came on about the 46-yard line, and that was pretty obvious. Number 4 got hit on the backside, and they threw the first flag. Second flag, don't know what happened there.
That was a late hit.
It was a late dead ball.
Number 79, little extracurricular boys from the Cougars. Number 79, little after the play.
And so both of those were post-possession, and so the officials are talking it over. The one came on a block, the one came on a late hit. Post-possession after the punt was fielded on the return. So we'll see where they mark this football. It should be in Edinburg North territory. Good shape for the Jaguars to start a drive with 8:18 to go here in the half.
Joe, do you just go ahead and mark out both, go 10 and then go 15? Because it was going to be in the back against, they can't offset.
They'll still offset. A 5 and a 15. 5 and a 15 sometimes will even still offset in the right circumstances. We'll see how they play it out. They're talking it over right now.
Here we go. We're going to get the call right here.
He'll mark off the 10, and then he'll turn around and mark off 15. Yes, sir. Turn around. That's like a crossing guard.
Is it that referee lost, or what's going on, Donut? You're the referee around here.
Well, he did the right thing. I called it. He went 10, then go 15, and that's where they're going to set the ball. It was a dead ball foul. They had the foul with the hit in the back, took him back 10. Then we had the 15, so bring him back 15. So really, they got 5 yards out of it.
How about this field position for the Jaguars?
At the 36-yard line, Joe. You only got 36 yards to go, and you can put the points on the board.
Reminiscence of how the Cougars got their points on the board. They started to drive deep in their opponent's territory. Now the Jaguars with a golden chance here. Down just 6-0 here in the first half. They'll run a play action, look to throw, fire the ball down the left-hand side, caught inside the 20, down to the 15, down to the 10, marked down right at the 10-yard line. Big completion. Again, they go to Ariola.
Same guy, and that was the ball was up in the air for a long time there, Paul. I thought maybe the defender was going to get to it, couldn't get to it. Good catch by number 88. Make sure he had the ball before he started running. It's a pickup for another first down for the Jags, and it's going to be 1st and 10. They can pick up a first down. They're at the 11-yard line.
Gentlemen, sorry to interrupt. That was a difference of at least 8 inches. That young, I don't have a name down here, number 88. I'll tell you what, he's every bit of 6'1", 6'2", and the defender's probably more around 5'7", so he had a tremendous height advantage, and you see the result.
Doroteo Ariola was the receiver. He's got 4 catches now tonight for 55 yards. Timeout on the field as these two teams want to talk things over. But again, this Edinburg North defense is being tested now by a Jaguar team that suddenly is saying, hey, we can move the football against this juggernaut.
Refs calling the players back and punting. They didn't charge anybody a timeout. Both coaches were wondering who called the timeout. Why y'all calling a timeout? Nobody did. They get them back on the field quickly. So they start the clock down, play clock going, and we're down to 7:58 and counting still. Edinburg North Cougars 6, and the Jaguars 0. Jaguars knocking on the door at the 11.
To the line, they'll run the ball over on the left-hand side, and that will be thrown backwards. Forward progress will take it down near about the 9-yard line if they mark that down, and it will be a second down coming up for the Jaguars, a little deeper into this Cougar territory.
Ball at the 9. They can still pick up a first down, gentlemen. It's possible. It's 2nd and 8. Ball at the 9. We got 7:28, 7:25, and counting.
Jaguars with the football, a nice chance here. If they get the score and kick the extra point, they're going to take the lead, and you'll see the orange and white go crazy across the way here at this packed stadium. Under center, Alvarez sends a man in motion right to left. Fumbles the snap, and that's a loose ball. Cougars looks like they got it.
They got it? We'll wait and see. We're going to make sure it's going to be the right call. And it is Cougar football.
Cougar ball, gentlemen, Cougar ball.
After being in the 9-yard line with a 2nd and 8 coming up for the Jags. Second time they lose the ball. One time in the end zone on an interception. Now they lose it on a fumble at the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cougars.
Oh, gentlemen, I can see it very clearly from here. The quarterback received the snap from the center very cleanly, but in turning to deal with the tailback, he actually nudged against his right guard. The ball ran into the hip of his right guard, and that's what dislodged the ball.
7:05, 7:06 left in the half. Cougars take over deep on their side of the field. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 8-yard line. Joe?
Cougars with the football, 1st and 10. Their defense comes up with another turnover. Set up now in a shotgun formation. First down play, they'll run it. Left-hand side, penalty flags come in.
Oh, you know, the holding. Joe, sorry I jumped in on that fumble, Joe. And we get into it like that, and we talk about it being from Edinburg, and me and Paul calling the games. We tend to do that once in a while, but that was a fumble I called. I didn't give Joe a chance to call that play-by-play. Sorry about that, Joe. Here we go. It's going to be a flag on the field, so with 7:01 left in the half, we're going to see what the flag, probably take them half back the distance.
Well, if it takes them back, they're going to be guarding the shadow of their end zone. Their defense came up with a play once they've intercepted in the end zone, and now the fumble inside the red zone. And boy, oh boy, you look at the Jaguars and they head into the halftime locker room. If they're trailing, they're going to say, well, we certainly had our shots at that team in the first half. Cougars now got to protect the football. Don't want to turn it over here after you just got it back on that gift that was given to you.
1st and 14 coming up, and took them back half the distance.
Out of the shotgun from the end zone. Hand the ball off, run it right side, and that will get out across the 10 to the 11. Buys them a little yardage that time. Got the penalty yardage back and a couple more.
A pickup of 7 yards, so it'll be a 2nd and 7 coming up. We're down to 6:35 and counting left in the half. How big is this, Joe? Not only do you need to go score, but maybe just hold the Jags from getting into the end zone before the half?
Well, I think it could be deflating if you score for certain, but if you can just get a sustained drive and take it into the halftime locker room, you're going to be saying to your defense, nice job on protecting once it got in the red zone, but Jaguars going to be believing they can win this football game still, regardless of what happens here. But points, that would hurt. Now a running play to the left-hand side. That's got a little room. Out across the 15 to the 20, on his feet to the 25-yard line. That's a first down. Nice run by Whitesides.
Yeah, and you'll see that all night long, and you've seen it for 2 weeks. Oh, he gets hit. He just doesn't seem to stop, keeps on going. So one more time for the Cougars.
Move those chains.
Another first down, and the clock going already. They set the chains. We're under 6 minutes left in the half, ladies and gentlemen. It's still the Edinburg North Cougars 6, the Jaguars 0.
Jaguars defense on the field trying to get the ball back. The Cougars offense on the field trying to add to that 6-0 lead. The first points were scored early in this ball game, and thus far Cougars have made it stick. Out of a shotgun formation once again, Alex Guerrero, single back behind him, takes a snap, turns, handoff, running right-hand side, going to be Alvarez, bounces it to the right side, wrapped up and taken down in the open field. Nice tackle made, and that'll drop him after a short
Another dead ball flag, and I believe that was finally going to go against the Jags after the Cougars have been hit twice on that late hit. I think this is going to be against the Jags. It's going to hurt them. It's going to give them 15 yards instead of it being 2nd and 9. It's going to be in 1st and 10, and the ball is going to be moved maybe to the 47-yard line. Here's the call.
Officials talking it over, making their way over. 5:34 to go in the half, and that is indeed going to be against the Jaguars. So the Cougars will get a new set of downs as they'll mark this down at the 30. 38-yard line of the Cougars.
So, Paul, one more time. Let's move those chains. Here we go. We're under 5:30 left in the half, and it's going to be guys, it's going to be, to me, a big possession to decide this game here.
Guerrero out of a shotgun takes a snap, turns, hands the ball off, and a running play bounces out across the 42. Good second effort to attain that. And that's going to be Whitesides. He keeps platooning back and forth with Alvarez.
Pick up a 5 yards, call it 2nd and 5 coming up, and the momentum after it looked like it was going to be on the Jaguar side, all of a sudden after that fumble, it's come to the Cougar side. We'll wait and see what's going to happen in the last 5 minutes left in the half.
2nd and 5 from the 43-yard line for the Cougars. They started this drive after forcing a fumble inside the red zone and maintained this 6-0 lead. Guerrero out of a shotgun once again. Waits, here comes the blitz, takes a snap, hands it off, run play, left-hand side. Alvarez has a little room across the midfield stripe, and down the sideline he goes. 40, 35, 30, foot race to the 20. Makes a nice move back inside field, upended, but not before he gets inside the 13-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up for the Cougars.
Paul, was that a cutback to this side of the field after that started that run?
That was a tremendous run. I'll tell you what, it originally looked like there was no daylight. That's nothing but effort. And again, great job to kick it outside, and we know that's where the yards are gained when you're able to get outside. It was a tremendous effort.
A big run there. Did we get a total there on that run?
48 yards is what I had him for. Adrian Alvarez now with 76 yards in the first half. 1st and 10. Here's the replay for you, friends, and you can see he ran through that tackle, got away from that one, and then down the sideline, foot race, and he could have went out of bounds here, said nope, takes it back, takes on 3 defenders, took the hip. Now back to live action. Running play, left-hand side, and that's going to be in the end zone. Touchdown, Matt Whitesides.
Again, the momentum changing quickly, so it's touchdown. Cougars down to 4:14, still left in the half. A lot of time left, but for right now, it's the Cougars from Edinburg North, 12 points, and the Jaguars from Economedes at 0. Point after coming up. Joe.
4:14 to go in the half, and that caps off a 90-plus yard drive that time for the Cougars of Edinburg North. They force a fumble and promptly turned it into points. Now, the only real good news out of that for the Jaguars is the fact that there's still 4:14 remaining in the half, and you don't have to allow that to take you into the halftime locker room. Now, I'm seeing some flashing out there. I hope those are cameras. Here's the extra point up, and it is good. 13-0, 4:14 to go. Jaguars trail the Cougars.
Hey, Joe, saying that about the time left in the clock, that could mean a lot, because you want to try something and do something. If you don't want to give these Cougars the ball back too fast, because they got the ball, I believe, there with about 6-something left, and it only took them about 2 minutes to put points on the board. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're just joining us, the lead has just changed to a little bit bigger. It's going to be the Edinburg North Cougars 13, the Economedes Jaguars 0. Once again, Donut Salinas, Joe Bowling, Paul Osbury, coming to you live from Edinburg, Texas. It is right now the Edinburg North Cougars stand at 2-0, the Jaguars at 2-0, first district game. Right now it is Cougars 13 and the Jaguars 0. Joe.
The Jaguars will return this kick now, and they will be looking with the wind at their back to see if they can move the football down the field. Now, they've done that tonight. They've moved the football against this defense, but they haven't capped off the drives. They had one intercepted pass in the end zone. They had that fumble inside the red zone. So it's, again, missed opportunities right now for the Jaguars. Opportunity knocks here. 3 timeouts, 4:14 remaining, wind at your back. Not the end of the world if you go down 13-0, but you can certainly go into the halftime locker room swinging, if you will.
Cougar is going to kicking toward against the wind now. We'll see what's going to happen here if they go for a short kick or they try to kick it deep.
They will kick it. It fell off the tee at the exact time the kicker kicked it. Get it out across the 25-yard line to the 30, middle of the field for the Jaguars at the 35, out across to the 40-yard line. A miracle the kicker even kicked the darn football, guys. You see that?
Something went further than the ball did over there. I believe that's a tee. I can't believe he. And you're right, Joe. Right before he gets his foot on it, the ball flew off the tee, and I think the tee went further than the football.
If they've got the replay on that, that'll be a good one, because again, the kicker was already in the motion of swinging his leg forward when you could see the ball just topple off the tee. He banged the tee, banged the ball, and
here we go.
Here it comes. Watch this. This is a good job of that thing's rolling over. The Eiffel Tower was falling. or the Tower of Pisa, whichever you want to call it. 1st and 10 now for the Jaguars. Running play, and that goes up the middle. Nice play inside the 50-yard line, back to Cougar territory. A nice 11-yard gain on 1st down.
And you're right, Joe. So, Paul, we're going to what with this Jaguars now? We're going to move those chains. You got something for us, Paul?
Yes, I do. Whenever I get a chance, I wanted to show some on the drawing board here, kind of how cleverly the Cougars are running their offense. Whenever I get a chance, I'm just going to give you guys a little insight, little X's and O's.
We'll do it after this play right here. Here we go. Joe, take it away.
1st and 10 for the Jaguars, and they'll run the ball this time to the right-hand side, back inside the 45 to the 44. Let's go to the chalkboard and see what's going on in that Cougar offense.
Here we go.
All right, gentlemen, if you can see here what happened on that last play on that touchdown run, the Jaguars had got themselves spread out, and the hole or the gap is run right here in between. They'll block down, they'll kick out block, and that's where the gap is. That's where they run that last play. On the other previous plays, the Jaguars took care of the box. There's no running room up the middle. They only had to go outside. That last play was very well designed. Good job.
Back to action. Jaguars with a football, and they'll run the ball, but it'll go nowhere. Again, we're live audio, but fans, when you get to watch that, that's a beautiful illustration right there of how a touchdown was taken.
Hey, good job, Paul. Thank you very much. We'll see more of that coming on tonight. For right now, it's a loss of 2 yards. We come back to action. It is 3 minutes left in the half. Jaguars pick up another 1st down, but all of a sudden go back 3 yards. You're on, Paul. Paul, you're on.
3rd down and 7.5 yards to go for the Jaguars, trailing 13-0 as they break out of the huddle. Alvarez, the shotgun formation. 2 receivers either side of the field, takes a snap, looks left, all the way, fires left, got it to Paz. His first catch, that's a 1st down. Inside the 25, chains will move down to the 24, or check that 34-yard line of the Cougars.
One more time.
Move those chains.
And you know, Joe, a lot of people have been asking, where's number 12, where's Paz been? And let me tell you what, if he's going to make a big catch for the first time this year for the Jags, there's no better time to make it. It'll take us down to 2:31. The clock's still going. We're down to 2:28 and counting. It is 1st and 10, but the Jags are knocking on the door there at the 32-yard line of the Cougars.
If they can start utilizing Paz more, they've already got Ariola, who's established himself as a nice target. Now Alvarez rolls out, looks to throw. Rush throws it over the middle, and it's going to be picked off. That was a gift-wrap interception right through the hands, and incompleted pass.
Almost the 3rd turnover, I think it would have been there for the Jags. It went right through the defender's hands there. It fell incomplete, so it stopped the clock with 2:12 left. Once again, we're in the 2nd quarter, almost going into halftime. 2 minutes, 12 seconds left. We're in Edinburg. It's Donut Salinas, Joe Bowling, Paul Osbury. We got 2:12 left in the half. It is the Edinburg North Cougars 13, the Jaguars 0.
Joey Benitez, who picked one off earlier in the end zone, had that one right through his hands. Fumble snap, and there's a loose ball and a big pileup. Cougars got the last one. Who gets this one? Right now it looks like the Jaguars got it back.
Looks like Jaguars got it.
Run the clock. It'll be 3rd down, and we're under 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Still Edinburg North Cougars 13, Jaguars 0. And Joe, I'm glad I held my voice there. I almost yelled again.
2nd and 12. That's all right.
Here we go. It's 3rd and 12 coming up, and I think this time for sure he'll go for it twice.
3rd down and 12 for the Jaguars, trailing 13-0. They have been down here looking at scoring opportunities. This is the 3rd time they've had a chance in Edinburg North territory. Before the snap, whistle on the play, timeout is going to be called by the Jaguars. They'll burn their 1st of 3 in the 1st half.
Still got 2 timeouts. They're still sitting good. I think with a minute 32 left. And Joe, the momentum, how big is the momentum going to be if you can put something on the board?
Well, that's what I was saying. When the Cougars scored, the Jaguars had a lot of things to look at to say, all right, we can go into the halftime locker room either talking about the fact that we just gave up that score after having it in the red zone, or we can use 4 minutes and 14 seconds to give us some positive stuff to talk about when we head to the halftime locker room, that we marched it right downfield, we put points on the board, and you know what? We left points on the field because of a fumble and because of an intercepted pass in the end zone.
And if you don't put any points on the board on the way back, when we get back, it'll be Cougar football first.
And they'll still be talking about it in the Jaguars sideline that we missed lots of good chances to score points. And then you look at it from that perspective and say, okay, well, we missed chances, but guess what? We're still only down 13-0, so get out there, get it done, finish off the drives, and let's get it going. Cougars, on the other hand, with the lead.
Here we go, back to action. We're down to 132 left. A big 3rd and 12 coming up for the Jaguars. Ball sitting at the 34-yard line of the Cougars.
If the Jaguars can get it to the 22-yard line, they'll have enough for a first down. Shotgun formation for Luis Alvarez. On the snap, waits. Play clock at 10. Drops back, has some time. Deep down the left-hand side, it's going to be intercepted again at the 12-yard line, as this time it's going to be Eric Salas, the senior, who picks it off.
And Salas stayed inbounds, not by much, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe we'll get a replay. It's hard. It was at the far side of the field, but he did take a step or two. There was no problem in making the call. It's going to be 1st and 10. 3rd turnover for the Jags. All have been inside the red zone.
One in the end zone, a fumble inside the 15, and now the intercepted pass at the 11. And so the Cougars have it, minute 27 to go. And now you can go for a backbreaker type of score if you open your playbook up here.
Do you with 127 left, Paul, and you're that far in your side of the field?
I'd be a little conservative, gentlemen. I'm not saying I would necessarily not throw the ball, but I'd be pretty conservative, backed up with a win in your face.
Go back to that play that busted for 48 yards for the touchdown, and we'll see what opens up there. On first down play, it's a snap back and a handoff. Running play, and that'll bounce it to the inside. Not much there for Adrian Alvarez. Minute 20 to go in the half and counting. Cougars up 13-0.
We're down to 1:15 left in the half. 2 timeouts left for the Jags. I think they're just going to sit on that and take those 2 timeouts in the locker room. Wait and see. It is 2nd and 8 coming up. Cougars not in a hurry at all to run a play.
Cougars will get the football to start the second half, and also will play into the way they use their plays here on this drive after getting an interception at the 11-yard line. Shotgun formation for Alex Guerrero. Single back in the backfield, receivers either side of the field on second down. Takes a snap, hands it off, bounces it to the outside, now cuts it back upfield. Nice move across the 19-yard line, across the 20. That's real close to first down yardage.
They're stopping the clock. I believe it is going to be a first down. We'll wait and see what the call is going to be. The near side referee stopped the clock. It is the first down. So for the Cougars now, Paul, we'll do it one more time. Move those chains. Down to 39 seconds. It'll get going right after they set the chains. They do. We're down to 38 and counting. Still, Cougars 13, Jaguars 0. Joe.
Whiteside's on the carry. He's got 9 carries for 70 yards. Alvarez, 5 carries, 78 yards. So that duo has been terrific here tonight in the first half for Edinburgh North. Shotgun formation once again for Guerrero. Takes a high snap, hands it off. Running play, penalty flag on the play as well, as Alvarez is finally stacked up and stood up, and then they blow the play dead, sort out the penalty with 12 seconds to go in the half.
You got 12 seconds. Paul, you going to join us with Roy?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll be setting up a little quick interview with Roy Gottsaw with Paul on the field right when the half ends, ladies and gentlemen. After that, we're going to leave you with a halftime show from the bands. Both bands, please enjoy the show. But right now, we got 12 seconds left.
Seeing some lightning going on out there, and if the officials spot that and end up calling things, they did it last week in Brownsville, they did it tonight in Brownsville, they'll halt it, they'll send the bands off, they'll send the fans out of the stands, and there's some more lightning going to my left. They'll call this thing right here, right now, and say we'll replay it 20 minutes after the lightning strike ends. The last lightning strike they see, 20 minutes, they'll bring them out. They'll have the halftime, and then they'll give the teams time to warm up, so we could be here for a long, long time if this lightning does indeed come into play.
We'll wait and see. Do we have a delay? Another?
That's the end of the half.
Do we have a delay on other fields, Joe, right now with lightning?
Brownsville had a lightning delay. Yeah, they're currently in a lightning delay.
Okay, here we go. So it's going to take us to halftime. Paul, are you ready? Camera out down there?
Yes, sir. I got the cameras off, but I got Coach Roy Garza right here.
All right,
Coach Garza, you know, tough start. 2 teams hitting each other in the mouth, but you got up by 2 scores going into halftime. It's a good momentum. How do you feel about it right now?
It's great. It's great. We got the break early, and then we just fell apart. You know, the city rivalry games. But we signed Centralina. We just went right at them and got away all the tricky stuff. So it worked out that last drive. So we just gotta go back and play a little football.
Amen, Coach, and it is working out. Thank you, Coach. That was Coach Roy Garza. A couple of words from him. Back to you guys.
Once again, that was Paul Osbury joining Coach Roy Gottsaw on the sideline. So right now it's halftime in Edinburg. Once again, Donald Salinas, Joe Bowling, Paul Osbury coming to you from Edinburg Cat Stadium. Right now it is the Edinburg North Cougars 13, the Economedes Jaguars 0. We'll take you to halftime. Please enjoy the halftime show by both bands. We'll be right back.